I don't want to review this movie. I really, I don't. It's just that bad. I've seen a lot of horror films over the past decade of my life. This has got to be one of the worst. Takes a very good premise. I'm not saying the premise is that bad. It's very good, taking two of the biggest slashes of our time and putting them together in a fight to the death. But it's just the bad acting, the bad writing, the bad dialogue, everything. It just makes it. Let's not waste any time. This is Freddy vs. Jason. Okay, first off, let me just say I don't hate the franchises of Freddy or Jason. In fact, going back over the films, the first two films are really, really well done. But looking at this, really was a good idea, but it really suffered through the bad writing and, like I said, bad writing, bad acting, bad directing. It just wasn't really that good of a film. So we start out with Freddy in hell as he's giving a monologue over his history, saying that the reason he can't return to the world to terrorize the people of Springwood and the people of Elm Street is because nobody believes in him anymore. Nobody remembers him. Sounds like a modern Hollywood star. Anywho. So he finds Jason Voorhees, who's back in hell for what, the fifth time? Man, the devil's got him on speed dial or something. So Freddy goes to Jason and basically disguised as Jason's mother, who I thought she died anyway. Didn't she die? Well, she gives Jason the urge to go and attack the people of Springwood. Why does he listen to her?
Mother knows best.
Got me there. Hey, wait a minute. Weren't the lights off just now? Oh well. Carrying on. So for the next general 30 to 45 minutes of the film, all we get is Jason going through Springwood, terrorizing a rave party, getting random kills, and then we meet our main characters, basically a bunch of teenagers who are trying to find a way to stop Jason. When they find out, through some horrible exposition, that Freddy is the one responsible for everything. So they try to go to an insane asylum of all places to try and get drugs to keep them awake, so that they can focus more on Jason than on Freddy. Seems legit. But Freddy knows of their plan, possesses one of the kids, and forces him to dump all of the drugs down the drain. And who should come knocking at the door but Jason? So Freddy, who's possessing one of the teens, injects Jason with a sedative, which knocks him out and puts Jason in the dream world, where Freddy is in control. While in the real world, the teens figure out, why don't we pit Jason and Freddy against each other? They both seem to have a grudge. So, in the stupidest move I could ever think of, they take Jason back to Crystal Lake for home field advantage? I mean, I don't get it. Oh, yeah. That's a great way. Take a serial killer back to the place he hates the most, and let's see what happens. So finally we get the fight we've always been waiting for. Freddy versus Jason, as the kids drag Freddy out into the real world where he can finally be hurt. Now, to the film's credit, the fight scene actually is pretty epic, and it always is going back and forth between who has the better advantage. You always got Jason, who's like a walking tank, and Freddy, who's basically very light on his feet, surprisingly, and strikes really well. So we keep going on for about 10 minutes until we get to the end. But wait a minute. What happened in the dream? Oh dear God. Come on.
So you are afraid of something after all, huh?
No. 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 Jason Voorhees afraid of a thin sheet of water? Yeah, it's not like he could just stick his hand through and chop him. I mean, heck with that. No, that's kryptonite to him. So, apart from that god awful excuse for weakness, we finally get back. I'm gonna go back. We're in the real world now, and again, it seems to be the final fight's almost done, and the kids are just hanging around for some reason. Oh no, we gotta make sure they're dead. You couldn't just take the opportunity while they're fighting to just escape. They're probably just gonna forget about you. Let them fight for the rest of it all time. For all I care, I'll just be on the first train out of there. So Freddy and Jason end up it ends up being in a tie, which is kind of a cop out, and that's one thing I didn't like about this film. When you're setting the premise of a versus film, this is like Alien versus Predator. You need to set up the fact one of these characters has got to die. I mean, in Alien vs. Predator, they had a creative way of sticking out. I'm not saying that was a bad movie. Man, that was horrible. But this, you pretty much you built both of these characters up in their series to be invincible. Because they always keep coming back. So the whole point of versus film, while it's a good idea, just didn't really work out. I mean, if they're both going to end up in a draw, only slightly mangled. Well, do you guys want my final verdict? Well, here it is. Freddy vs. Jason, while it does have some merits, generally isn't a very good film. And as evidenced what I said about Alien vs. Predator, these versus films don't really come out as good as they want to, which is why crossovers mainly stick to comics. So if you want to go see that, that's fine. Incidentally, they actually made a sequel to this film. It never made it to the screen, though they ended up using the screenplay to write the comic Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, which the story is vastly superior to this film. It's a good popcorn movie, though. I'm saying if you're one of those horror films, if you're a real diehard fan of this, you're probably not gonna like it. But if you're like a horror fan who just likes horror for the genre, you can go check this movie out. You'll enjoy it. But if you're a diehard fan of the series, if you love these characters, don't go see it. It's just not that good. So that's Freddy vs. Jason. I hope you guys enjoyed this first little review of Critics Corner. No, I just do this for fun. I'm not trying to be professional. Anyway, I just do this for fun. As long as you're enjoying it, that's fine. If you guys have any more films you want me to review, good, bad, or indifferent, I'm not just here to review bad films. Just send me a PM or leave a comment in the comment section below, and I'll take a look. So, I'm Dark Cinema. I hope you enjoyed Critics Corner, and we'll see you real soon.